So President Trump dropped a Father's Day shocker yesterday and today, Monday, June 22nd, in the year of our Lord 2026. He was proven right. Keir Starmer, Prime Minister, well, former Prime Minister, I think he's going to stay on until September, just announced today he will resign. Also, I'm going to share with you a quick clip from that. Also, we've got huge news. President Trump signing an executive order taking America as the forefront leader in technology when it comes to quantum computing. He also talks about a lot. He responds to Keir Starmer's resignation. Also, we got mentally ill Ilhan Omar news. Her finances in the spotlight once again. But first, check this out.
My party is asking now is whether I am best placed to lead us into the next general election. I have heard the answer of my parliamentary party to that question, and I accept that answer with good grace. Every decision I've taken has been about putting the country I love first. That is why I will resign as leader of the Labour Party. I have spoken to His Majesty the King this morning to inform him of my decision. I will ask the National Executive Committee of the Labour Party to set out a timetable with nominations opening on the 9th of July and completed by the summer recess.
So this comes less than 2 years after his 2024 landslide victory. Starmer resigned as Labour leader today, citing parliamentary party decisions amid economic woes, immigration debates, and by election losses. He will serve as caretaker until early September, but Andy Burnham, fresh off a Makerfield by-election win, has launched his leadership bid and looks set for a quick rise. I'm not sure if this is going to happen or not. I would love to get some comments from our UK viewers and listeners, our amazing patriots. Backed by figures like Wes Streeting, Starmer highlighted achievements that were yada, yada, yada. But I want to play this because, you know, there's been a lot of problems all over the UK. UK has become unrecognizable, especially with the influx of migrant, immigrants coming in by the droves. And this video, Elon Musk reposted this video by, I think this is a French reporter, but this is mind-boggling. I think this is a preview. I want to give her full credit here. Her name is Thais Escoufan, and she talks about the crackdown on identitarians continues. We are forced to submit to our invaders, forced to love our tormentors. Watch this fantastic video that should, to me, should be a warning to every Western civilized society on the planet. Watch.
Dear European and American friends, listen to this latest absurdity. Last November, Jean Hudgana, who is a father, an identity activist, and a local councilman, filmed a video in front of the supermarket in his small town. Let's watch it together and I'll comment next.
Salut à tous, vous voyez, là je suis dans la ville dans laquelle j'ai grandi, 10 000 habitants je crois, et depuis quelques années maintenant, tous les soirs, on est comme ça, voilà, à la sortie. On se demande un peu ce qui se passe. Mais en gros, t'as des réfugiés afghans qui traînent. Voilà, toujours au Leclerc en train de t'acheter de la bouffe, à rien branler. Bienvenue dans la campagne française.
Okay, he posted this in the evening, and the next day at noon, the cops called him to summon him, warning him that it might take a while. He was held in police custody for 48 hours and subjected to completely crazy interrogations, where they asked him where his children went to school, what his relationship with them was like, how he raised them, Stasi style basically. In the end, he was recently prosecuted and sentenced to a 3-month suspended sentence prison and a fine of 4,650 euros, including 600 euros in compensation for each Afghan migrant he filmed. Native French people who speak out against non-European immigration and its damages are subjected to a veritable ritual of humiliation. They are forced to submit and to love their invaders and their tormentors against their will. We identitarian activists are hunted down like criminals because we love our country. My friends, keep fighting and defend your freedom of speech tooth and nail, because if you lose it, you lose everything else. Your sovereignty, your identity. So please share this video, because there are still brave French people who are still fighting and deserve your support. Thank you.
Absolute pure insanity. What was the harm in that video, by the way? What was the harm in that video? He was just simply showing that these are the people in front of these grocery stores. They do nothing. They ask for money. They are doing all sorts of horrendous things, not contributing to society, not contributing to the community. What was wrong with that video? 48 hours of interrogation in a Western sovereign country like France in the year of our Lord 2026? You see, this is the left, y'all. This is the parasitic ideology of the radical left. You've got mayors like Mamdani and Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago, New York City, respectively, who are literally proud of their sanctuary cities. Now does it make sense why they fight for criminals and have zero empathy for American citizens? Why Bruce Dyke Springsteen writes a song for treasonous vermin, attackers of law enforcement and ICE agents, rather than Patty Marin, Jocelyn Nungary, Laken Riley, and Sheridan Gorman, and thousands, hundreds of thousands more who are being injuriously harmed, mortally harmed by these radical invaders that Biden and Kamala, the Ugandan fake border czar Harris, led into our country. Now, does it make sense? This is a preview, y'all. We stopped the floodgates on November 5th of 2024. But this is just the beginning. We have to fight, which is why I want you to tap the thumbs up and share this everywhere. That video deserves to be seen by billions. Billions. Share this everywhere. Okay, President Trump signed an executive order today on quantum computing, and then he had a lot to say about Starmer and more. But first, check this out.
Quantum technologies represents the next generation of innovation across computing, sensing, and networking, with enormous significance for our country's economic growth, scientific research, and cyber security. It's really a big deal that we're doing today, and the country is doing really well, as you know. In 2018, I signed the National Quantum Initiative Act into law, which led to doubling the federal government investment in quantum research and development. I think you all know about that. That helped unleash billions of dollars of private investment in America's quantum industrial base, promoting significant scientific and technological progress like we've never seen before, actually. We want to keep that positive momentum going in America with the orders that I'm signing today, and these will really have place it a big step forward. We're already the leader by a lot, and we're going to be now the leader by a lot more.
There you have it. So President Trump doing what he always does best. He's already made strides with the tech community in our nation, specifically in Silicon Valley, and more tech moguls and giants like Larry Ellison, Mark Zuckerberg, and so many more, Elon Musk. With artificial intelligence, incentivizing manufacturing here in the United States with very strategic tariffs. And now he's taking us into the future, making sure that America is number one, ahead of China in every facet imaginable when it comes to technology. That quite literally is just as big as the internet, just as big as electricity, just as big as the car, the automobile. I mean, just as big as anything. Here's President Trump in that same press conference where he signed that executive order, talking and responding to Keir Starmer resignation today at 10 Downing. Watch.
Prime Minister Starmer, and he's now resigned. Your thoughts, and who would you like to see as the next Prime Minister?
I was critical only from the set because I think he's a lovely man, but I said you're really messing up energy. You have windmills all over the place. In the meantime, you have the North Sea oil, and they won't let anybody drill. It's one of the great fields in the world, and they haven't even found most. You know that the UK buys much of its energy. You know where? Norway. You know where they get their oil? The North Sea. The UK has a much better portion of the North Sea. They don't want to do it for environmental purposes, okay? And I told him, he's a very nice man. I mean, sort of a friend of mine. I mean, he was not good to us with NATO, Pete, right? He said, we can't use the island to land. That was the first. For a couple of weeks, he said, well, but ultimately I gave it to you. Now, that was a bad move. That hurt him badly. But I mean, I wish him well, but he's got two problems: energy and immigration. and crime, but energy and immigration.
Mr. President of Colombia,
And he's really hurt himself.
So I actually think he went really easy on Starmer. I think, and I'm sure a lot of my UK viewers and listeners will comment. Please comment down below. Let me know what you think. I think he's done a lot worse than immigration and energy. I mean, he's done really nothing for this country, attacking citizens of the UK, arresting them for social media posts. I mean, draconian measures and initiatives by this guy. And I don't know anything about Burnham. Tell me something about Burnham. I know nothing about him. Is he going to take over? I don't know. But I truly hope that the people of Great Britain can heal somewhat and take some solace in Starmer resigning. Trump had something to say about AOC and the Democrats. Check this out. What a difference a brain makes.
AOC have no idea on a simple question, what happened when she was over in Switzerland, which she probably never went there before, but she was. And then I watched somebody like JD or Marco. I said, what a difference. What a difference. What a difference a brain makes.
Mr. President,
And speaking of NATO, President Trump, talking about Melonia's Italy, I did a whole video on this, and how NATO is just not stepping up to the plate. And, he's getting a lot of criticism from the left. Of course, criticism, this guy breathes wrong. He gets criticism from the left. But we finally have a leader standing up to NATO and having to answer for the hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars we've given them over the decades. Check this out.
They come and help us. Okay.
Mr. President,
But you know what? Italy was very bad. We win, they're going to come and help us. Okay.
Mr. President,
But you know what? Italy was very bad. Italy was very bad, and other countries, Germany was very bad. So we spend all of this money, probably 600. I think we spend 600 billion a year, right? I would say that. I think the real number, think of that. The numbers that we spend are so crazy on NATO, and they weren't there for us. So I say to Pete, and I say to everybody else, if we're spending all of this money, just hundreds of millions of dollars to protect them from Russia, mostly. Okay, so we're spending hundreds of millions of
Way
dollars
more than that.
a year. The case could be made that we spent all of the money over the years before me. I cut it back. But listen, we spend all of this money, and then when we want to maybe have help on small stuff, this is small time. This is not the big one. This is small potatoes. They say no, would rather not help. Stupid thing to say, because we can say that to them if we want, and we might.
Mr. President,
And then lastly, I think this is just complete bananas. I just don't understand it. I'm sure you've heard of this, these radical leftists attacking the new Lincoln reflecting pool that Trump renovated. President Trump says he has confirmed we have some arrested. Check this out.
Are the contractors who did the initial work with the reflecting pool, are they to blame for the current condition, or is it the vandals?
We had vandalism. No, vandals. We have 100, and we have I think 290, 300-foot slit right through it, probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind. Or we had people lifting up the basic, it's not a lot of damage, but we'll probably have to let the water out and refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested and 5 people are under investigation right now. And it's a sad thing. In addition to that, we put brand new, beautiful grass all around. They put these massive letters on the grass. You probably know about that, right? And they said 8647. They probably got that from the dirty cop, Comey. He's a dirty cop, don't you? Dirty cop. He's a crooked guy. They destroyed the grass. So that's a big thing. But we're going to get it back very soon.
National Guard and police have been all over the mall. How would these vandals have gotten so close to do something like that?
do you have any proof of this?
we didn't have a lot of them then. Who would think that somebody would go into a pool and take a knife and start cutting it?
But do you have proof of that? That they
Yeah,
used the
we
knife?
have
You have
proof.
photos or videos?
Well, let's put it this way. When you have a 350, I think it's 350, not 250, a 350-foot slit from one end to the other, you think that's proof? You think that's
The reporters have been down there today looking for that slit that you mentioned, and there's no evidence of
all
it.
you'd have to do is see the Parks Department. They'll show it to you. Or see the secretary. But I saw it. They cut it. They cut it very violently. The same thing with the floor. They cut it. And then they lifted it. They pulled it. And that's what it is.
Stephen Miller said that President Trump is fighting a two-front war, terrorists overseas with the IRGC and terrorists within our interior with the radical, extreme, anti-American Democrats. I think he's right. These guys attack law enforcement. They attack hardworking ICE agents who are trying to keep our communities, our streets, cities safe. They attack the president at every turn. This guy could cure cancer, and they would literally have placards that say, "Leave our cancer alone." I kid you not, they would. That's how demented they are. Who attacks a sacred monument? Who desecrates something like that because you hate one man? You guys need help. Speaking of needing help, mentally Ilhan Omar, gosh, I wish you would get deported. This just came out today. Check this out.
Net worth is now below $100,000. How so? That's down from as much as $30 million in their last filing. What is going on? We turn to Mark Meredith, who has more. Hi, Mark.
Dana, it's a great question. Good morning to you. Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is once again raising questions about her finances. She's filed a new disclosure report showing major changes to her net worth compared to just a few months ago. The Congresswoman sparked an investigation after a 2024 filing showed she and her husband had assets between $6 and $30 million. It was a massive rise in wealth compared to years prior. After people started asking questions, though, the Congresswoman claimed it was just an accounting error and the forms were amended. Reports for 2025 showed much lower wealth, and now the latest report for 2026 shows her family's stake in a winery and an investment firm are now worth nothing of value, and that her savings and retirement account holdings are fairly modest. The Congresswoman's office has not yet responded to Fox's latest request for comment about this disclosure finding, but just last month, the Congresswoman told our crews she's got nothing to hide.
What about House Republicans looking into the net worth of you and your husband? Are you cooperating with that investigation and providing the documents?
Looking into anything. They're just saying those things to get interviews with you guys. There's nothing really happening.
While Omar claims there's nothing to see, political watchdogs say something for them doesn't add up.
I've never seen a swing go from essentially nothing up to 30 million and then back down to nothing. I've seen it go from nothing up to, a lot of money, but I've never seen it come back down that quickly, especially after the public starts calling it out.
This is the same woman who said about 9/11, some people did some things to a building. This is the same person who hasn't said one. You think if Nick Shirley hadn't exposed Tampon Tim, Keith Ellison, all the Somali daycare hospice, which, incentivized finally some of the mainstream media to go, well, let's look into this. You think she would have changed anything after independent journalists found out about her winery, her fake winery? You think she would have changed anything if any of that came out? And why hasn't she spoken out? Why hasn't she said a word about all that fraud that's been exposed in Minnesota? Doesn't she represent Minnesotans? I think not. She only represents Somalians, fraudsters, liars, cheats, and she's getting a cut. You know it. I know it. It's time to deport, detain, arrest, and boot out of the country mentally Ilhan Omar. One quick question. Have you ever felt American pride after listening to one of these commies, these socialist, anti-American Bolsheviks speak? Have you ever felt the swell of fervorous love of country when you've heard AOC speak, Rashidi Taliban Tlaib speak, Payamo, whatever the heck her name is, or mentally Ilhan Omar, any of the squad, Mamdani? Have you ever felt, man, they really inspire me to love my country? Have you ever felt that? I haven't. I'd love to hear from you. Please let me know what your thoughts are on all the stories that we covered today. Tap that thumbs up. Share this everywhere. It doesn't cost you a thing. You would be helping our mission to make common sense go viral, because you're not going to hear any of this stuff in the mainstream news. Check out these videos coming up right here on the screen just in case you missed them. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's free. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.